All right, audio's on, video's on. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, I'd like to call the, board meeting of the, Parks and Rec Commission to order. It's Tuesday, August 18th, 2026, and it's 6:03. Can we stand for a pledge of allegiance, please? Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. And we need to call the roll. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Have a roll call over there. Okay.
Carol Ennis.
There.
Mia.
Here.
Beth Duggan.
Here.
Christine.
Here.
Eileen Fergalino.
Here.
Tim Cutler. Austin Nolan. Phil Nolan. Tim Mankey.
Here.
Don Pratt.
Excused.
Diana Sarah.
Here.
Madam Chairperson, we have a forum.
Okay. That's saying no signal over there, so I don't know if people at home can see us.
Yeah, the computer.
Here, I can see it, it's on.
Is there? Oh,
It's on.
beautiful. It's just not over there. All right,
It needs phone.
No.
okay. Does somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 16th, 2026 meeting?
So moved.
Motion and second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I'm gonna abstain, I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay.
And I'm abstaining, I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay, two abstentions. And what else do we need here? Okay, public participation. Anybody wants to come up and speak? Actually, we should probably lower a chair, or maybe, I don't know. Want to speak from there, it's small, whatever you want to do. Try to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Whoever wants to go first, come on up. Nope. Going once, going twice.
For what now?
So public participation. We're good? Okay. Correspondence. Oh, is anybody on Zoom? I don't see anybody on Zoom. No?
I think there was a confusion on the time.
Oh, some people thought.
That some people thought 6:30, so you
Yeah.
did.
Yes, I did.
Well, that was not.
Yeah, okay, well, maybe they can check in later. So correspondence, the donation from the Kiwanis Club of Newington.
Yeah. So they gave us a donation of $1,000 for the Camper Recreate program. They've done this in the past, they did it again, it's very helpful. It's very rewarding to see the direct impact it does to our residents each year when we could offer financial assistance because of generosity like yourself. So we use that money as well as other money for people that need the money in order to pay for a camp.
Beautiful.
So it's well received.
That's a nice thing. Okay, next is an email from Diana Dukes Furs about our Cherish Our Children Angel statue.
All right, so
We
you
have a little
all have your
handout
little
here.
pamphlet. Basically, Diane from funeral home contacted Clay. And if you guys are not familiar with the Cherish Our Children, it's a section in the cemetery, which are, it's kind of earmarked for obviously families that have lost young children. So it's a section that is over kind of by the pavilion area or the area, the indoor area. And they've been raising money for the last 5 or 6 years by doing a brick program. You read through this. So you're able to get a brick for a fallen child, loved one, whatever it may be, and it goes into the ground, which Clay and his staff does. So she's been doing it now for about 5 or 6 years, and she wants to turn over the program to the town. In particular, to create it where it's going to be a self-sustaining program and has limitations strictly for the cemetery. They can only be used for the cherish, cherish children area. And there's about $6,000 that are in there. So I talked to the town manager. He said that we'd have to set it up, and then once we get your approval to proceed, we'll go before the town council, make them aware of it, make sure they're okay with it. And what we have identified to use the money for is a portion of that, Clay wants to put in some irrigation around there to make sure that the grass is nice, an area of that nature. The other monies that are still left over, we're not gonna rush to do anything because we wanna make sure that we put that money towards this program to beautify it. It may be somewhere down the line, maybe putting a pavilion area so they can have a area to have outings and stuff like that. The whole program is gonna go to the town and Park and Rec. Clay is on board with it. There's not gonna be additional staff requirements for them because they already obviously maintain the cemeteries. And the only thing that they will continue to do is the walk that they have every September. They will continue to do it from the funeral home down to their section in September every year. So she wants to basically take the whole program, give us the money, and then we will redo all of these flyers. Have the appropriate number, contact information from the town. And we already talked to the contractor that does the bricks. Got a price on that, so the price can stay the same. It's gonna be what it is, and typically it's about maybe 2 families a year that might get this brick. It might be 3 years where nothing happens. It just depends upon, obviously what's going on and need of it, or if anyone wants to participate. So I think it's a well-deserving program that I think it does enhance the cemetery that we do have. I think it's something that I think we should continue on and do so. Because it is well received as far as that area, with the loved ones that are still there that keep going back for anniversaries and stuff of that nature, so. But these are the flyers that she had produced, that you have copies of. We're gonna get them redone, obviously, with all the pertinent information, once it's approved by all the county agencies. And then from that forward, we'll publicize, let everyone know that they can contact our office if they want to continue or to get a brick. Now, a lot more.
Who does all the flowers around here?
The flower town, yeah, playing this group, yeah.
And around this,
Yep,
yeah.
his crew does it already,
They
so.
do a nice job.
They do a very nice job. They know the value of this program, so Clay had no hesitations whatsoever, and his staff had no hesitations whatsoever to take that on.
Do we need to make a motion to support
Just
this?
a few quick questions.
Yeah.
The $6,000 will be set aside in a separate fund, right? So.
Yes, it's only gonna be earmarked for the Cherish Children's Program.
And any new
You can't
proceeds
use
go
anywhere
into this
else.
fund separate.
Yes.
Somebody would like to make a motion that we continue to support this program and moving forward as one of ours.
So. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, next monthly report, monthly reports.
Monthly report, you should have received the spreadsheet from the extravaganza. And there's a lot of numbers there. I had to go through with Roderick many times to find out how he derives at this information. But if you want the Clip Note version, basically from last year to this year in comparison to the extravaganza, we were down about $32,800, and that equates to the lack of the Saturday Carnival. Saturday Carnival, typically, is the biggest draw for us as well for them, and not having them, participate in that was really unfortunate. I told Eileen, and I will tell you guys too, that I'm gonna explore looking into other carnival vendors. Cause something doesn't sit well with me in regards to how they said they couldn't get state approval from the permit. Their equipment and their rides were here for a number of weeks after the fact. Now, whether it's a staff issue and they were going somewhere else, I can't speak to that, but, I find it hard to believe that when I told them that they could talk to the fire marshal, the acting fire marshal is now the current fire marshal, if they have a contact of the state they could reach out to. I gave them all the effort to get this approved, and they didn't. This is going back to Thursday afternoon, when I said the rain date is gonna be Sunday, and it looks like the weather on Saturday does not look good. So this is from Thursday until Friday at whenever they close, 4:30. And I only got the phone call Friday at the extravaganza from the carnival company, trying to blame us why we couldn't have the carnival on Saturday. He wanted to run the carnival on Saturday with nothing going on as far as the extravaganza, which I said, no one's gonna show up. It's gonna rain. We're not gonna do that. We have to staff, all the ticket booths and stuff of that nature. No one's gonna know about it. It's confusing, and we're not just gonna do it. Just do it on Sunday. He said it's something to do with the permit for the insurance in regards to the firework permit. And he gave me some hypotheticals. If I run it, they come inspect me, I could be fined or arrested. I didn't really necessarily agree with that. This is my first attempt at dealing with carnival transactions. So I've done some research. I've identified about 4 different carnival vendors that are all somewhat local, with the farthest being in maybe Rhode Island. But there are some in Connecticut, and I'm gonna talk to a couple of park and rec directors that deal with them. So I'm gonna do my proper vetting of them, and then I'll have some information for you forthcoming of what I see and which way we're gonna go. Because it's unacceptable not to have that carnival part of the extravaganza. It just loses a lot of the enjoyment. And other than that, everything went great. I mean, I think I want to thank our commissioners who ran a very good beer garden.
We were in the beer garden.
They had a lot of great ideas, and I think all of them worked, and I thank them for that. And I think moving forward, I have some ideas about pricing in regards to the food trucks, not changing the pricing for the extravaganza, but changing the pricing for the June events when the foot traffic is not as much, and trying to get more food truck vendors there, which will get more revenue. And then also having kind of an à la carte pricing for the June events, keep the pricing the same, because the foot traffic is outstanding for the extravaganza. They all made money. And then also giving them the ability to additionally have food trucks come to our regular concerts. You know, the one thing that I've noticed for our regular concerts, it's just a concert. There's nothing else there. I mean, we have cornhole that's going on, which is great. It's a great event, great program. We have our concession stand open, pool's open, but there's really nothing else to really bring families there. And if we had a food truck and we had the 2 gals, we had partnership with them serving alcohol, it brings more of a special event to just our regular events, which are concerts. So I think that will be well received. I've done it in Cromwell, and they was very successful, and I want to do it here. And I'm pretty sure it will be successful. As far as the bands, you know, I went through the whole year as far as the bands. The bands were some good, some okay. I have a large library of bands that I booked in the past, do my due diligence, so I think I will be taking over that responsibility of getting some bands, and trying to get bands that will bring people in, and it'll be still enjoyable, but also the music might entice more people to attend the special events.
We still wanna have that band day in the gym where all the bands come and run.
Yeah, we're having that in February.
Yeah. That seems,
You know, I'll get feedback on that.
yeah, it was amazing just to watch how
Yes.
they just were, it was great. It was really.
I think the addition of food truck for the concerts would be kind of helpful.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of people come and they're here and want to get something, 'cause it's like, right around dinner time.
I mean, I love our chicken tenders and fries, but.
I
don't need so many of those.
Or hot dog, yes,
Yeah.
I agree with that, and obviously we won't do a food vendor that duplicates what we sell, but it's not hard to do.
Right.
But I think you'll find that as long as, if we get the foot traffic up for the regular concerts, then with their food trucks, the word will get out, and we'll have, we'll be able to vet the food trucks and get better food trucks in. And, the June events, I think we had a total of 11 or 14. When you say Food Truck Friday, you think there should be more food trucks, and
Exactly.
I just want to make sure that we have a lot more. And it's really not Food Truck Friday, in my personal opinion, because we have food truck on Newington Goes Country, the same amount of trucks. So we're thinking about changing the Friday to maybe get an 80s band and get an 80s theme to the Friday.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. It's very popular and people love the 80s music, and there's a lot of good bands out there that we can get too, so. And the country band I will be selected on, maybe for that.
Thank you.
Not that there was anything wrong with them, they just were a particular older country band, which I don't think many, people enjoy them now a lot. That's my personal thing.
Very difficult here.
That headbang band, I don't even know what they were, but
Oh, that's,
they were good, but man,
That's,
those people drank a lot of beer,
Mhm.
so.
what they call, their names escapes.
I don't know. I just know they were not our typical band.
No,
Not the
and
typical
again, for the
family.
extravaganza, I
Right.
agree with you, you came up and said, for something, a family event. Maybe that. Now, they do have a following,
Yeah,
but maybe we have them as a regular concert
yeah,
or something like that.
they,
What is their name?
I like to drink.
Yeah, they do.
But at a regular band, at a regular time, we're not gonna be selling beers, we're not making money off them.
Correct.
So like, you don't really need to listen to that, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I don't.
And then the other issue for the beer tasting and cocktail tasting.
Mhm.
The feedback I got from that was that there should be more craft beer, and there wasn't as much. So that is something that I will bring up when we negotiate Happy Harry's. Because I do agree with them, and if you say craft beer, you should have more than just one or two craft
Does that
beers.
space need to be bigger?
It's very popular, we made good money on it, and everyone seemed to have a good
No,
time.
but just the space.
Oh,
The
the
space,
space.
does it need to be bigger?
It
We,
used to be
we,
bigger.
we could expand it.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like,
We can expand it, I was even thinking about having, either not purchasing, but maybe renting more tents. So for the food truck area, kind of on this side, so there's some shade over there for the public too. Shade seems to be a, premium.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had a senior that came that wanted to go underneath, but there was the cocktail tasting, so. The Parks was able to put up a tent for this lady, which was nice, but you gotta be aware of everyone, so.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll rent some tents, to add to it, extravaganza. But I think the food trucks were pretty good, they all did very well, and I will work with Stephanie to get a price point on the à la carte. And try to get more, because I think if you price it correctly, you're gonna get more food vendors, and bottom line will be you'll make just as much, if not more, in numbers as opposed to trying to really outprice the food trucks
Makes sense.
for the foot traffic. And that's only the June event, and trying to entice them to come to our regular concerts, which I think they're great. I mean, the weather was okay. The bands are okay, but I think if we get different bands and have food and two gals, that went very well. You'll get more people attending the regular Thursday night concerts.
You offer a package deal, or if you're a food truck and you come for the 2 June events and you come for the concerts, you get a discount on the extravaganza?
Yes. I'm gonna get creative with that. So,
Do we charge the going rate for, spots, 10 spots at the extravaganza? Like, whether it be tractor or a business, is that the going rate at most fairs?
The craft fair?
Yeah,
No, but I thought the craft fair price was too expensive. I heard from people that said that
so right, that's what I'm asking.
you're
Yeah.
outpricing some of the local, smaller stores or people that just like to craft out of their house or just for a hobby. You'll find that we're pricing, we're doing a craft fair, we'll get to that in December here in our gym. And price point for that is very good. And then, we're gonna change the price point out here because again, I really think you have to price it fairly to get them to come. And then with more crafters, you're gonna get more patrons that are gonna come. And it's a snowball effect, so. And we'll have hopefully more crafters and less like selling siding and
Yeah.
whatever that is.
Yeah.
And we could vet that to make sure it doesn't turn into that as well. So, and then we also, by the time we have December craft events, I told Lizzie to maybe think about having some information, so if they are successful, which I think they will be here, hey, by the way, extravaganza, here's the date.
Sign up early, you get a little-
Early birds to make sure you get a
Yeah,
little discount.
Yeah, that's great.
Who did the social media, did a great job. Who does?
Yeah.
That was Angelina.
Oh, she's doing a fabulous job.
She is, listen, if I had a nickel for every time someone said that.
Yeah.
And all I basically did was, Roderick said she wants to interview for an internship. I'm like, well, I just started and I'm like, I don't know. I said, but she's one of our supervisors at night. I said, let me interview her, it can't hurt. And when she started spitting out all the social media and how the outreach is and how it can reach and this and that, the different social media, I mean, I'm kind of a dinosaur with that, but it's amazing that I'm like, okay. But I can be honest, I said, I just want you to promote some programs that need maybe a boost of registration numbers. Oh, I could do that, but I could also do this. And I said, and then she rambled that off and I said, okay, you're hired. And that was the best decision I made.
Very good
Since I've
choice.
been here.
Yeah.
I mean, she is
She's so good.
fabulous. I mean, the engagement about the town,
Mm-hmm.
about our programs, and I had said to our staff at a staff meeting, Bill always promoted the sponsors, which is great, but I wanna promote what we're trying to do, because I think we do it very well. Our department does it very well, we're very engaged with the public. We like to serve the public, and we have to show it, and I think we've done that pretty good. And I think the staff is energized about it, because the camp staff loved it, the campers loved it, the aquatics loved it. It took off and it
Oh,
it continues.
absolutely, yeah.
So,
She's
Great.
staying on, so that's even better.
Oh, that's great.
but, she really has a vision and she really knocked it out of the park, so.
It was great with those videos for the sponsors and all, but the
Yeah.
community
Oh,
engagement was, this is nice to see. People are logging in and making comments and
Absolutely.
it's beautiful.
It's not this long, it's this long, so
Yeah.
we'll watch the whole thing, yeah.
Can I ask a quick question about something else in the
Sure,
report?
yeah.
Just because I think the public is asking a lot of questions about the spotted lanternflies.
Oh,
And I just wanted to mention it because you did note in your report that people should follow the suggestions provided by the Connecticut Agricultural Experiment Station, which I hadn't heard that before. DEP is what we keep hearing, right?
Yes.
So I just wanted to kind of mention that.
So we-
I have a bunch in my yard.
well, there's tons of them now that I see in the, so we actually just called them again. To see if anything changed, because I've seen a lot in my yard and their neighbors. So the state doesn't have anything that they can say, just that if you see one, kill one.
Right,
I mean,
right.
And then
that's
they want you to
basically-
report it
You report it,
online where you see it, and
but I think
Yeah.
they're everywhere in the state, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, but,
I've seen them in my backyard.
Right.
And it's fast, can't you like go to kill 'em?
And you can't just stop them, because they just squish and then they get up and they go.
Yeah.
but they jump real quick.
Yeah.
They are good
Yeah.
jumpers before they are flying, they're
Yeah.
jumping, yeah.
So it's a shame. I mean, what we're doing as a department is if we see a tree of heaven, that's their host tree on town property, and it's identified, then we're just removing that tree. It's kind of like a weed itself, more or less, the tree of heaven. And residents can do the same if they want to, but we're not recommending anything.
Right.
They should or should not do, but, I think they're here and unfortunately they're here to stay.
Yeah, it was interesting to see in the report that there had been no reports for 5 years and now, wow, they didn't waste any time.
They're big.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
Like little,
Yeah.
in the beginning of the season, they were little, now they're big.
Mhm.
I think a couple years ago, they were prevalent in Pennsylvania. And now they've made their way.
It is, yeah. Okay, do we have anything else from your report?
Nothing that, Stephanie is going to finalize, the total attendance for the pool. We'll have that for Monday's, pool meeting, committee meeting. So I'll share that with you once we have the total numbers, for that. I can tell you that our concession stand, basically has grossed a profit of $5,713.40. And then we looked at the pricing to see if we have to go up, because obviously with the minimum wage going up and our staff costs going up, we're really not, we're still making a profit for every item that we're selling, and I don't really want to please the public. And I went out to the vending machine to see what Gatorade is there and stuff, so I don't want to outprice herself either, so maybe we're gonna try to do more offerings. Some suggestions are gum, sour patch, the kids love it. And then for selective events, like here in the winter time for basketball, maybe get some pizza and sell slices. That might be popular, and maybe during extravaganza, put a concession stand as well. Something along those lines.
I would nix the gum because it's gonna end up on the, and a
Kids
lot
love
of
it.
everybody's shoes.
Well, we can try it and it becomes a problem.
Yeah,
Just-
or on the pool deck or someplace.
Well,
that, you
don't want to say sunflowers. I want those.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But these are what the kids love.
I know, I know. So do
Fine.
the
Yeah.
Yes. And I will say those kids that work the concession stand during the, concerts and whatever, they bust their butts. They work really well. They're very polite to the public. They do a great job.
Nice job.
All right, moving on. What do we have? Oh, tree warden's report?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm sleeping, you can read it, but I mean, basically, how the tree warden report works. We get a call from a resident if there's trees on their property or whatever it may be that needs attendance, that's near town property. We go out and inspect it. It's usually Tom or Claire, both. Sometimes I would go out to just to have a third opinion. And, they typically prune anything that needs to be pruned, remove anything that's dead. But when it comes to like power lines and stuff like that, the town's not gonna get involved with that. That would be Eversource or the phone company, but even then, they're very particular on what they actually will do. At least that's what Tom said, so.
Makes sense. Okay. We don't have any old business, new business, the 2026 fall programs are beautiful.
Yeah, great.
Very nice.
Yeah, Lindsay did a great job on that, and her staff. You have color copiers, I'm happy to report that. The other good decision I made is to get a color copier in our office, because we didn't have one for whatever reason. So now we can do flyers in color, and obviously we print everything in black and white, so we save money, but we have the ability now to make color flyers, and figured we'd do it in color for you, so that's what it's gonna look like when it comes in the paper, and I think it's gonna come next week, Ted?
Yes, it should be out.
Yeah, good job. That's nice. Okay.
And Stu Leonard, we're still playing phone tag with them for, I mean, pool's unfortunately closed, but we're gonna try to get something into place sooner or later to have safety swim and stuff like that, and have a program implemented for next year as well. I think it's like a grant process that you fill out to get, and then we get offer free swim lessons and safety stuff, which I know you're a proponent of, so. So we will, do that as well, and we'll get started in the winter time with the indoor pool at the high school, we'll do so.
How did the swim lessons go?
Swim lessons were great. Yeah,
Good turnout.
I can honestly say that my assessment is that the staff, in fact, I know the staff did a great job because I was over there for my interviews with Channel 3 and I heard the Warrens and oh my God. But they're doing training and services and they've done a great job, so it really went well. The pools, for the most part, are okay, but we're working on what we're gonna do, because we're always kicking the can down the road, but, it's, to the point where they're getting to, we gotta find out what we're gonna do.
Yeah. What's the cost to maintain them, like, just to keep them?
I could get that information, but it's a losing proposition.
Yes.
With the water, the chemicals, treatment, pools are expensive, there's a lot of maintenance to them. However, the enjoyment of them and what it enjoys and what the campers really enjoy and the lessons and everything else, I think outweighs the expenses. So I think it's very important to have pools in our town. It's a luxury. There's not many towns that do have one, let alone two. And the camp would not be the same as far as the enjoyment if they didn't have the ability to go swim there and take lessons.
No, you had talked about Tommy wanted to sandblast, hang on.
Yes.
Would that be in the spring that that's gonna happen? I mean, the water's in there.
We'll take it up, we'll bring that up with the pool committee and we'll see what we can do. There are other options that I think we've explored, but liner issues and stuff like that, but sandblasting we can do, which would help. But that's only gonna help to keep repainting it. And we're worried that if we sandblast and stuff like that, something else happens to it when, cover it. So, it's a touchy situation, but I think we have to explore that option. And, there are communities that I told the pool committee that there are communities that have done, a liner or something along those lines that maybe we can go and I can talk to the director, but we can also show and tell and see how it's going and what kind of life expectancy and how it's holding up as another option, possibly, instead of rebuilding. Or maybe it's a combination of refurbish one and rebuild the other, I don't know, but we need to, the committee will do that.
Okay. So that's the fall program, right? So now we're on public-private partnership for the chapel.
We make a motion for the fall program.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Probably would be
Yes,
good.
you do.
Okay, somebody wanna make a motion? To accept the program as presented?
Sure. I'll make a motion to accept the fall program, including the fees and changes or charges associated with each event, program, and facility.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, the motion carries. All right. Now we're moving on to the chapel.
So the chapel, obviously, Sam was very eager to start a Halloween program, so it's gonna be, Newington Park and Recreation is gonna do in the brochure, a family fun, Halloween event in our gymnasium in October. And, we contacted them because they always sell their pumpkins and see if they would be willing to donate. So they're gonna be donating, 200 mini pumpkins, of which we can have, the general public come and either have them paint them, do a combination of arts and craft program, but, their donation that they're gonna give for the program. So that's what that's for.
Okay, somebody wanna read the motion?
Read it.
Go ahead.
Motion to accept the public or private partnership agreement with the chapel as presented for for the Halloween party at the Newington Community Center on Saturday, October 10th, 2020.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, beautiful. All righty. Okay, right, so now we have to, push things up a little bit here. We have, Republican seat open on the pools committee, which Tim would like to, replace Carol as, since he's on the board. What,
It's a vacant position. I resigned months ago, so
that's
it's
what I
not,
said.
it's not replacing me.
Well,
It's replacing a vacant
Well,
position.
it's open, yes, okay. So we have an open seat. Well, then you don't want the motion read the way it is?
Correct.
can
It
change
should say to replace a vacancy.
Okay.
Right.
To fill a vacancy.
So they go.
Yeah.
All right, so, does somebody want to read that motion?
I would like to.
Go ahead.
Move to nominate Tim Mankey to fill a vacancy as the Republican representative from the Parks and Recreation Board on the Town Pools Project Building Committee.
All in favor?
Second.
Oh, second, sorry. I'm second here. Okay, should we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, beautiful. Now, there needs to be a, member of the public from, a Republican member of the public will have to fill.
Right.
this.
That's the town committee though, that's, right?
The
Yeah.
council will have to do it.
Or
The
the
council will
yeah.
have to.
All right.
okay,
Yeah.
Eventually,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Might be an extravaganza summary.
Well,
Yeah, so that's good. Candlewood Park grand opening Thursday, September 10th, 2026, from 6 to 7. Exciting.
so, yeah, so all is welcome to attend that, and we will make sure we invite all the dignitaries and representatives from the state that helped us get that grant money for that. We'll have a ribbon cutting ceremony, takes place. We're gonna have, pizza, I think will be donated by a vendor. And we're gonna open up registration, which will be no cost for people that want to attend, the event as well. You know, sometimes with the playgrounds, all the kids come and stuff like that. Just to monitor the parking and the people, but, it's gonna take place. The park is beautiful and we're working on trying, there's 2 more parks that we still need to get money for. That we're working on with the grant writer and, seeing where we can go with that. I think Bill and his crew have done a great job, upgrading all of the pavilions, all the playgrounds we have in town. And, you know, I was very impressed with, how many different playgrounds are in communities. And that's kind of old school and, very nice. And, you know, it's a nice touch, attraction to the town too, to have those. So we wanted to get them all, ADA approved. So we'll have this event on, September 10th. And all welcome to attend.
That's nice. Community Field Day at Mill Pond Park, Saturday, September 12th, 2026, from 10 to 2. Oh, that's, okay.
So this was the brainstorm of our, Lizzie, she came up with it, I'm thinking about, you know, when we lost that money, we kind of knew that for the extravaganza of the carnival, I said, "Hey, we gotta find a couple special events to kind of recoup that, so. This was one that she's passionate about, she's into health and fitness, and she said, why don't we do a community event to get everyone together? And she kind of threw out the idea of having the fire and police have a friendly kickball game. Then I kind of said, well, we can get it like the Stanley Cup, get a trophy, so whoever wins that can keep it there for the year, and it could be an annual event. We called it the Kickball Cup. Yeah, I like that. That's a great idea. I want to steal that. Anyhow, so we'll get a trophy made, but we want the community also to come in, so as residents, you can get a team together if you so choose to become, to participate in the kickball games and some other field games. We're reaching out, to some of the local vendors in town, health and wellness, the fitness clubs and stuff like that, trying to get sponsorship. We already have a massage therapist.
Oh, great.
So.
I'm gonna need you.
That'll be there. Yes.
That's great.
Can I speak while this is going on?
No, during public participation, that would be great, okay? Thank you.
It's gonna be another reason for us to get together with everyone and try to have the community come together at Mill Pond Park and, you know, have some fun with it as well, so.
Great idea.
You're gonna have food trucks?
well, food trucks, we will have two gals. You know, and they'll show chooses that they want, maybe after the kickball game or something.
Or before.
Yeah, or before, but yes, there'll be food trucks and, stuff there.
Music too, or maybe kind of,
We can do that. I'm toying of having the option of trying to have one more concert. I was looking at the budget today and before it gets too dark and just have it just impromptu, another concert at Mill Pond with food trucks and the two gals too, because the community really does enjoy the concerts, without, I mean, every phone call we get, how come concerts are not at, down in the center? And, we're gonna try to raise money to try to bring those back and, you know, thinking about next year. I mean, the last concert was the beginning of August. We go a couple more weeks and maybe we transition and have some of them down at Market Square. Or maybe do a combination of, you know, in between, one here, one down there, trying to get, the community to come down to Market Square and trying to build up the residents, of the businesses down there as well. So we're thinking about those options as well too.
is Dadabel still sponsoring?
Who?
Dadabel?
Yes, yeah, they are. Absolutely. Good. So that's the first event we came up with. The Halloween event basically is just in our gymnasium. Gonna be family fun. You bring your kids. We suggest or request that everyone comes in a costume. It would be nice. We're putting together, fine tuning everything. We're gonna have this room be kind of photo booth option and have a nice, you know, pumpkins and background and stuff like that. So families can take pictures for the Halloween. We have some arts and crafts programs. We have some people with some entertainers coming in. Again, just a family fun, just come together, for that. So both events, I'm gonna go out to the community and see if anyone would be willing to, like a business, to give a raffle prize, promote their business, which I think they will. And then we'll have a raffle prize and the community will win that. And it could be an option where someone wins it. Maybe it's the first time they go to a business in town and they like it and they'll go back. So I think it's a win-win for the community and obviously for us. And we haven't done anything that for Halloween. You know, basically I looked at everything. We kind of extravaganza was done. It was the Night of Lights and, you know, I'd like to fill in something more for the community during that time. So this is the brainstorm we'll be carrying with.
Do you need any help from the board with any of this?
Sure, we'd love that. Have that, absolutely. But, you know, as far as the gymnasium, I don't know if there's a large outcry of volunteers for that because we're not selling anything, per se. And it's gonna be more kid friendly and stuff of that nature. Obviously for the Night of Lights and maybe for the craft fair, but even that I don't think is we're not gonna need a lot of people, but I'm not gonna turn away volunteers.
Okay, so maybe for our next meeting, if you had a sheet to sign up,
I will.
whatever you might need,
Yeah.
that would be good.
Sure.
Okay, and Night of Lights is Friday, December 4th.
Yeah.
This is some.
So, yeah, we're working on that as well too, trying to finalize everything for that. We have a couple ideas, it's gonna be very similar to what it has been in the past. With the exception of, I think we all as a staff thought that the 3D lighting was
Yeah.
not worth the expense.
No.
So we're not going to do the 3D.
The lasers.
Lasers.
Right now.
3D
Yeah.
lasers.
I figured,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was already gone by then.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then we left her then.
so, so we're thinking of other things of doing down there to obviously promote the businesses. I'm gonna go down there and I want the businesses down there to be part of the event as best they can. We're gonna get a lot of people down there. They're gonna benefit from it. And hopefully we can work together moving forward to have more events down there, because that's the theme I got from the chamber and everything else is trying to promote more businesses down there, especially the concerts and stuff like that. So I wanna be sensitive to that, try to do that, try to find a way that we can do more programs for the community, which will benefit us, but also help them out in time too. So.
Just, I mean, Night of Lights, I did get a couple of people mention that the people who were vendors, there was not enough light under their canopies.
It's very dark.
There were street lights, but the canopies blocked the street lights, so people would come in to their, under the canopies to buy stuff, but they couldn't see it.
Yeah, they're using their cell phone.
That's good.
It's hard
I
to.
wondered if they made any money. Like, I don't know what they pay to be there.
I will look.
Yeah.
There wasn't that many.
No,
It was awful
no.
cold.
It was really cold.
It was cold and windy.
They all
showed up either. Yeah.
The year before it was cold and dark.
But I think if we made it a bit more so they could see, people could see what they were selling, more people would actually buy it.
No, that's a very good point.
There was a point where we talked about maybe, looking at the church to see if we could use the basement and put the crafters and vendors in there, but I don't know if anybody would know it was there, if they would.
How many people would go in,
Yeah, I don't know.
and then I'd assume it's part of the church, I mean, that goes, if it's out in the old public, I mean.
They will see it, you'd have
This
to,
seems like an easy fix, in trying to get lighting underneath.
yeah,
Something to center that would kind of
yeah,
broadcast underneath or something low would.
Yep.
really, that kind of nice.
Even if it was just that rope lighting. That
Yeah.
in the beer garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think if you remind people, probably many of them have it, and just say, bring the lights, start.
Right.
And, that would help too.
Yeah.
We could help them, we could. Right. William A. DeMayo Gymnasium at the Mortensen Community Center, the naming passed at the last town council meeting.
Yep.
So sooner or later, we have to have a unveiling, once it's up on the website.
So I'll reach out to facilities to find out how long this process will take to change the name on the gymnasium. And then once it's changed, then we will have a ceremony for Bill and a ribbon cutting or whatever you want to call it. So we honor him correctly for the renaming of the gymnasium. Hopefully that will be done sooner or later. I know they're earmarking to paint the hallways soon, so maybe that's a good time to order the new lettering. How they're gonna do it, I don't know. I'll check with facilities. Whatever I can do to assist to expedite this, I will do so with them. So. So we'll rename the gym, the William, the proper, William.
William A. DeMayo. Proper. There we go. Sounds good. Okay. Oh, so we're getting done. Comments by the board?
I just,
Yeah.
before she goes.
Go ahead.
Can we have the sign in the center updated? It still has the extravaganza.
Yeah,
It is,
The one on,
Yes.
the one in the town green.
I'm great.
Oh, town green one.
okay,
Still
yeah,
has-
that needs to be.
There's nobody else, then we'll put
If
it back.
nobody else can put, just put the generic and. I mean,
Yes.
I think, unless you put 2027.
No, they should- you're absolutely right.
You're absolutely left the same vendors and a lot of it there.
Yeah,
You're right.
I noticed the same thing when I drove by.
yeah, it struck me that phrase, it's right by
Yeah.
everything.
We'll take them.
Thank you. Okay. Now, comments by the board. Go ahead.
Thank you. I had emailed Mr. Harris after an event in the park in June, because I had a couple of community residents come to me with some concerns. And so I, quite frankly, in my role as a commissioner here, a board member here, we don't usually handle complaints, like our job isn't complaints. To me, that goes straight to the superintendent. So I did email him initially. First, I just asked for what rules we have so I could review that, because I really, quite frankly, wasn't sure what the rules are for rentals of parks and pavilions. And what I found was that there really aren't a lot of rules that are very specific to those rentals. So then, I did email Mr. Karas. I did give him the name of the event and I did express to him what the two concerns were that were raised to me. And I asked that we could review our rules and procedures just to see if there are any rules and procedures in place or if there are any changes that need to be made, was the reason that I asked for it. Because when I did go on the website, and I think we were all provided with the one page of rules and procedures, there's not a lot that's very specific and some of it is outdated. So I looked to see, quite frankly, if that was even in our review, because since I've been on this board, which is only, I think, over a year now, we've never really looked at rules and procedures or anything like that. And what I found under the Newington Code is there is a specific section 305 related to Parks and Recreation. And section 305(1) specifically says that the Board of Parks and Recreation is hereby authorized to adopt rules and regulations governing the use of town parks and recreational facilities. No such rule or regulation shall be effective until after a public hearing by the board. So in order to change anything, it's a process, right? That's something that, in my mind, it would be up to the staff to kind of decide if there were rules that needed to be changed, perhaps with our input or questions. And bring that forward for us to consider and then for a public hearing. And then under scope, it's very clear that the rules and regulations shall provide for the reasonable use of parks and recreational facilities within the town at such time and place as will provide maximum use by the public without interference with the public peace and safety and with benefit to the greatest number. And the greatest number is the part that I looked at, because one of the complaints I got was that the specific event that I am not naming because the event doesn't matter in this instance. And I have found out, Mr. Kiris, had a nice, email to me where he explained that there are other events that do use the majority of the park space. One of them being the Peter J. Lavery Ride, one was, I think, an Easter egg hunt for a church in town. So there are other events that do take over the whole park, and that's what I needed to know. And so my only question, is in looking at the page that we did get, the rules that, were emailed out to all of us. It really is just a one-page document, and I think most of it is more related to facilities, not really, there's not a lot of specifics to parks and or pavilions. And so, in looking at it, there were just a few things that popped out to me under, A, permits. I didn't even understand the first line, because it says, no unsupervised activities are permitted, and a designated parks and recreation representative must be in charge of the activity or class. So I'm assuming that really only applies to, like, if there's an event in a building. We're not gonna assign a parks and rec person to go out to every event for a pavilion, right? But it's not clear on here. It says recreation facilities. Under F, there's use of tobacco, alcohol, and refreshments. And it speaks very specifically to alcoholic beverages are prohibited, tobacco, but I'm like, nowadays you gotta worry about marijuana, you gotta worry about a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of language in here that I think is our duty and our responsibility as a board to consider if it needs to be changed, updated, and maybe it needs to address any current issues. One of the issues that was brought forward to me was regarding a specific vendor, and I talked to Mr. Kiris about it. I don't feel a need to go into great detail. But there was some inappropriate material in some residents' eyes that was brought forward to me as a complaint. I told Mr. Kiris about it. And as I said earlier, that's his job to kind of take that and do what he needs to do with that. But is there language that should be incorporated into our rules regarding rentals? The only thing I did see under G, fees or donations, number 3 says vendors are not permitted on school or town property without written authorization. I didn't know that. I would not have known for an event, if I was planning an event in a pavilion, I just wouldn't have thought to worry about that if I was selling t-shirts, right? So I guess we just need to I think that I would recommend or ask if the board thinks we should review policies and make sure they're more up to date and current. And then the last one is kind of like when you have a job description, any pertinent rules and regulations as provided by the Parks and Recreation rules and regulations will apply. Just like my job description says that they can tell me to do anything. And when I had seen that line originally, I asked if there were other, because on the application, it says the same thing. And so I didn't know if there were other rules that were provided to people renting. So that was the reason for my email. I was very specific in my email that I sent to the entire board, that I didn't name a specific event. I said there was a specific event that did spawn the concerns. I shared that with the person that I think it's relevant to know. I never at any point, because for anybody that didn't see, there was a Facebook post put up this week by town council liaison, Councilor Tiniakis, who is here tonight, who made accusations that I was trying to ban a certain event. And the email that he cited in his post had 0 reference to a certain event. And I have never asked for anything to be banned and never would. I fully support and I'm trying not to say the name of the group because I don't think it's relevant, but I support any group's right to rent a facility and celebrate and have pride and do anything they want in any way that's equal to everybody else's rights. And everybody has a right to rent a pavilion and do what they want to do. My other question in terms of rules and procedures is if a group, and like I said, there's at least 3 that I know of, that typically would rent maybe 3 pavilions, does that include the whole park? Because the concern that was raised to me, other than the vendor, was that a lot of the booths and vendors at this specific event went all the way down the side by the pond and kind of out into the rest of the park, not including the ball field. But if families wanted to go on that particular day and use the park, it was really kind of full with that particular event. And so would it make sense for us, if we have an event that is renting all 3 pavilions, do we put up a sign in the parking lot saying the park is being fully rented today? You know, do we consider doing something like that so that events are able to do what they want to do and have the freedom to do that without concerns for the public getting upset by not being able to use the park that day? So those were the things that I wanted to bring forward in a discussion about our rule and procedures. I will say, excuse me, that, you know, I think there are, in our town, there's a code of ethics and there's a boards and commissions guidelines book that applies to us. And I think that posting something on Facebook that is false, making an accusation or questioning someone's motives without having any evidence to support that said motive violates both of those documents. In the code of ethics, it clearly states that public officials and employees have a special responsibility by virtue of the trust invested in them by the town's residents to discharge their duties conscientiously, impartially, and to the best of their ability, placing the good of the town above any personal or partisan considerations. This board has always been apolitical. And I have kept it that way since I've been here as a member. I've not been political at all on this board. And I want to make sure that everybody understands that, nor do I have any intention of going in that direction. Under official conduct, public officials and employees have an obligation to act morally and honestly in discharging all assigned responsibilities. If you're using a Facebook page that has town councilor attached to it, you have to make sure that you're following this code of ethics. And that, the post that was put up, I have a thick skin. I've been doing stuff in this town for a long time. I have a thick skin. I can sleep at night because I know what my intention was, and I have absolutely no intention of trying to harm a certain group of individuals or ban their rights to celebrate anything. But putting up a post that you know is false, violates the boards and commissions book as well, where it says proper official conduct of members. Members shall refrain from abusive conduct, personal charges, or verbal attacks upon the character or motives of other members of the council, boards, committees, commissions, and the staff or public. I'm a member of this board, and Councilor Tiniakis is a liaison member to this board, and I think that violates that as well. I'm not asking for formal action. I just want to make it clear that we have to have respect for each other at this board. And if Councilor Tiniakis had reached out to me directly to ask my motives, I would have very clearly had that conversation with him instead of taking something to Facebook and making a false accusation that quite frankly caused a lot of fear in the community that wasn't necessary. My emails to Mr. Kiris, I'd be happy to release 3 that I sent. I think there were only 3 where it was very specific that I was not worried about that event. I was worried about the 2 complaints that I got and those specific things and whether our rules needed to be looked at. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Just. You're not looking for any formal action to be taken.
I'm not.
I'm not really sure who. I don't know whose job that is.
Yeah, it wouldn't be, I mean, I could ask for a sanction, I could ask for anything, but
Does that come from the mayor or does that come from here?
there's a number of avenues that could be taken, and I'm not looking to do that. I just want to make sure that on this board, because this is where I'm a member, I'm not a member of anything else right now.
Right.
This board, I want to continue to be apolitical. I would never ask for anything to be banned. I want to be clear about that.
Okay.
Did you think it was just a coincidence? Pardon? Did you think it was just a coincidence that, I agree with the rules, you know, looking at the rules and procedures of the rental. But did you think it was just a coincidence? It was after a Pride event that,
It's not my job to decide when a resident brings me a complaint, whether it's a coincidence or not. It's my job as a commissioner to bring it to Mr. Kiris, which is what I did. So in terms of my role as a board member, I did what I thought was the right thing to do. I had 2 complaints specific to an event that I brought forward.
Scott and I met yesterday for quite some time, talked this out. I'll let him.
So I do agree that these rules and regulations are a little outdated. In particular, when I look at the Churchill picnic regulation, all of them, there's
Yeah.
verbiage in here that
was
says,
Yeah,
COVID, adopted by the COVID-19 rules and regulations. So this is a good time to revisit, obviously, the rules and regulations. I am not opposed to reaching out to other communities, to see what kind of rules and procedures they have, to see if it's similar or if there's any verbiage that needs to be changed for us. I did call Bill too, and, you know, he did highlight, and basically tell us that for any event, whether it's a facility rental or a pavilion, if people are renting that said facility or pavilion, that if they want any special accommodations, they need to get permission through our department. Meaning, if a family wants to have an ice cream truck go to a pavilion rental, they
Which I
have,
saw this weekend.
right, they should notify us so we can notify the police and make sure that they're vetted through the health department. God forbid, we don't want anyone sick. There's a larger scale, youth soccer does a big end of the year event. They rent out all the fields at the high school. They have
Oh, yeah.
multiple food trucks. And all I say to them, and they deal with us, I make sure that Clay's involved and we have a contingency plan on where they're gonna park, especially if the weather is not too good and it's wet and they're gonna damage, not to park on any irrigation or electrical. And cooperation with them to make sure that everything that's going to be there is permissible. This event, the permit was filled prior to me getting here, it was after the fact, so I think something along this lines, by all means, I should get involved and go to the permit, whoever wrote the permit, and ask them if it's gonna be an ongoing event. Use common sense and make sure that if something is offending people in the public, that we should not continue to do so.
Mhm.
I agree with that. But I do agree that the organizations, the individuals that rent from us need to communicate with us so we can work with them to make sure it's safe, that they're all vetted through the health department and that we are organized. In particular, like you're saying, if someone's gonna take over a whole complex, then maybe we need a staff be there for the garbages. And then maybe we need to close a park and notify the public that the park is not gonna be available for their general playgrounds or whatever it may be. And if the pools are open and the pools are gonna be there, you know, stuff of that nature. I agree with that. So that's something we do, but I really do think that, let me do some research. Find out what other communities, similar to us in size, what they do. I'll get some information and we could talk about this at the next meeting. And if any changes need to be made, then we can do that, because I agree. I mean, I don't want to say that we can't have, or we shouldn't be vetting anyone. If they want to have an event, we should have an event in our community and make sure that it's safe, make sure the food trucks are vetted and everyone has a good time. And if there's staffing issues that need to be, on there, we should have the ability to do so if groups are larger than, say, 200 or something like that. Because in my previous job, when we had organizations that had larger than 200, then we would have to assign a parks person for garbage.
Just our garbage, right?
Yeah,
And I think maybe then it is time to then close the park and say the park is closed for a special event. So families don't wander in and
Yeah.
assuming that they can use the equipment, the playground equipment, for instance, when it's not available.
and again, if it's gonna be a highly attended event, parking becomes an issue, and we make sure we have a plan for that. I mean, we have an overflow parking, it's not, that's at Churchill, which is
Across the street.
across the street, down the road, you know, but it is there. And I worry about people crossing over the street and everything, so. You know, I think we should look into that and make sure that we make sure that every event we have is safe. And then, you know, people feel safe when they rent pavilion, field, or anything of that nature.
It is a separate fee also if you wanna rent the, excuse the whole park, and not just the pavilions. And I did some research, I looked around. Several towns around in the area do not rent out the whole park during the summer months. So, excuse me, that would be from when school got out to when school started. So, some of it might have to be moved to the beginning of June, where kids are still in school, where you're not gonna have the campers around, you're not gonna have the families around. Weather hasn't, probably has changed, but whatever, global warming, you know, so, you know, possibly that could be moved to the beginning of June. And then you're not closing the park to one family who would traditionally come. But that's something we can look at that
And
and
just to be clear, I didn't ask for not to be able to use the whole park.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not my request.
No, I got you.
But I understand what you're saying. If other towns do it that way, that makes it
Yeah.
something to consider.
I don't necessarily think we could prohibit people from going.
Right,
Yeah,
We go extravaganza with.
Right.
with the school. All
right.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
And just to, remember Feeney's, question, I'm not naive, like when those complaints came to me, I'm not naive, right? And I don't question someone's motives, that's not my job, right? But that's specifically why the only email I sent to Mr. Curious, I think the first one I didn't say anything. The second one, when I felt like I needed to be more specific, so he had a context for it, I gave him the name of the event. But I was very specific, and I'm glad to share the email if you'd like to see it, but in the email, I very clearly stated that I was not worried about the event itself. That it was just these two questions, and I can certainly share that.
Based upon the rules and regulations.
Yeah, I was very clear, and the reason I didn't include the name was because I'm not naive, and I know what could be perceived, and unfortunately, it was perceived anyway. But I did try not to have that be the case. I didn't put the date in the email, and I didn't put the name of the organization, and I did that for a reason, so that it wouldn't be perceived as that.
Tim? Anything?
I'm fine.
When we update the rules and
Yep.
regulations, I think there should be one for the facilities and then the park.
I agree.
I don't think it should be all in one.
No.
I agree, because
Yeah.
everything is different.
Yeah, it was really hard to,
It was,
Yeah.
yeah. It was.
I agree. I don't even know how old these are, but I'm pretty sure they're old. Probably last time they were edited during COVID. Probably, I think.
Yeah, there should be.
It's not that old, it's only 6 years ago, so it's not that old.
Carol? Got anything to add? No.
Awesome.
No, we're good. Okay, public participation. Go for it, guys. Who's going first?
Oh, you said something about this, I'm Paula Sebo, I live on Main Street. You said something
Whatever,
about
honey, it's gotta go on the record, your name and your address.
name and address, Paula Tremonio Siegel, 1827 Main Street, Newington, Connecticut.
Thank you.
Oh dear. You mentioned that it's a nonpartisan board
Yeah.
here, but you are all nodding your heads. And you're, is this the Republican side?
No,
And
I'm just sat
this
here.
is- Sorry?
Before we came in, this is where we sat.
Okay, but you're kind of separated here. It's a visual.
You want me to go sit over there?
Yeah, well, I mean, why not?
Well, so
I'm just saying, it's a vision for me.
and I'm not a Republican, just so you know.
Oh, very nice, and you're leaving, that's okay. I'm
She's not
just
leaving.
saying,
he's not leaving.
I thought you were Carol.
I am.
Oh,
I
you're just
resigned.
getting off the board.
No.
The pool
I
board, the
resigned.
pool board, yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, I just mean, there's so much division, I don't know why you're not more collaborative, even sitting. I mean, even in sitting, you have to be separate.
No, in a
I'm just,
In a
look,
regular
I'm
meeting,
just saying,
I'm
it's
just,
a visual.
All right,
in a regular meeting, we are not usually this far apart, we're at maybe 2 tables sitting in a
And we're all
circle.
sitting
Because
between
nobody
each
from the
other.
public is here.
And we're all sitting in between each other.
Okay,
So because they had a feeling public was coming to this meeting because of what
they
happened on
needed a
Facebook,
horseshoe.
they made a horseshoe and put a
Okay.
TV or
Okay,
computer
I
in there.
grew up in this town and I've returned after military service for years. We chose to come back here. And I never experienced such separation and animosity. It's been very interesting. We've been here for 4 years now. And I just would like to see more coming together and less, this Facebook page business, you gotta, grow up. You don't have to go on Facebook and put it all out there. Talk to each other. You don't have to come and disparage each other and talk to each other privately, quietly, grown-up wise, okay?
Okay,
That's all I'm saying.
generally, we don't engage and go back and forth with the public, just so you know. But I will tell you, if you go to a town council meeting, it looks like this. The Republicans sit on one side, Democrats sit on the other. It's just the way it is. We don't generally care who sits with who.
That's nice to know.
It's one of those things. We're not, what, by saying that it's nonpartisan, is that generally our votes don't go, our votes are usually
Barely
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, very few, every once in a while, somebody won't be able to, but we do not, say, oh, I can't vote with them, they're Republican. That's not the way we work, so
Good.
go from there. All right, next person up. Okay. That was easy. Nothing from you? You just came to listen?
You listen and learn,
Okay. Good.
and I know most games, so.
I know, okay. All right,
You're enjoying it, you're enjoying yourself.
all right. Anybody have anything else to say before we make the motion to adjourn? Okay. Anybody want to make a motion, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded by, all in favor? Aye. Thank you very much, everyone. Yeah, that would be smart. We're gonna